Ever since the reveal of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which also gave us the reveal of Gen 9's starter Pokemon, everyone has been wondering what these starter Pokemon might eventually evolve into, especially for their final stages. Speculation and theories have been running rampant. There's already been a flood of fan art for potential evolutions that has covered the internet, and in today's video, I am going to be adding to that by presenting to you guys my own personal designs for the final evolutions of Sprigatito, Fuecoco, and Quaxly. My designs are partially influenced by what I think will ultimately happen for the actual final evolutions, but they also incorporate things that I just simply think would be cool. So it's a little bit of a mix of my own personal preference as well as what I actually think is going to happen. The artwork for these designs was also done by my good friend Trevenart, who you're definitely going to want to go follow on Twitter and or Instagram, or with the link in the description, because as you will soon see, he did a phenomenal job. With all that being said though, let's go ahead and check it out. Okay, so the starters of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are pretty great, but what's also great is today's sponsor, Atlas VPN. Atlas VPN can give you full access to the internet while also protecting you from all the not-so-savory stuff you can come across at the same time. Atlas VPN protects all your info and blocks any kind of suspicious link or malware, and will also let you know when someone is trying to steal your data. However, it can also do things like save you money while shopping online, as depending on what you are buying, the price can change based on your location. You can even use Atlas VPN to access Netflix and other streaming shows that are only available in other countries, so it basically gives you more content to enjoy and protects you all at the same time. Plus, it's also a really good deal, as Atlas is running a promotion right now where you can get a 3-year plan for just $1.99 a month, and it even comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can at least try it out. They even let you run the VPN on an unlimited number of devices with just one subscription, which obviously just adds to the value even more. You can use my link in the description to grab Atlas VPN today for 82% off, which is just $1.99 a month and comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, and take advantage of all that the internet has to offer. And a big thank you to Atlas VPN for supporting the channel. Alrighty, so first things first, we are naturally going to start with the grass starter Sprigatito. I mentioned in my prediction video for these guys and their final evolutions that I believe that Sprigatito is eventually going to evolve into a grass fairy type, and this is one of my predictions that I feel pretty good about. I'm just getting a lot of fairy vibes from Sprigatito itself, and therefore that is what I decided to go with when it came to designing a final evolution for it. The other thing I predicted about this evolution is that it would probably be based on the Iberian lynx, because those cats are native to the Iberian Peninsula, and the Iberian Peninsula is the inspiration for the new region in Scarlet and Violet. Plus, with Sprigatito already being a cat and kinda looking like an Iberian lynx already, it just seems like the natural way to go. So those are all of the basic details that I decided to go with for my final evolution of Sprigatito, and with all of that being said, I present to you Arbalynx. As mentioned, Arbalynx is a grass fairy-type Pokemon primarily based on an Iberian lynx, but it's also got some other traits going for it as well. First off, it just makes sense to base this Pokemon on an Iberian lynx in addition to the details I already mentioned, because the grass starters tend to have a pattern of sorts where they are based on things that are extinct. Like for instance, Decidueye being based on an extinct species of owl, Torterra and Sceptile having traits of obviously extinct dinosaurs, and of course you also have Meganium, who is clearly based on a dinosaur as well. And the Iberian lynx fits in really well with this because it itself is also endangered and even almost went extinct a little while back. So I think it's a great fit for a grass starter Pokemon, and personally, I just really like the idea of the grass starters being based on extinct things, so that's what I decided to go with. The fairy type first came around because, as I said, Sprigatito was just giving me fairy type vibes, and it also looks to be a little more feminine, which typically does go well with the fairy type, but Trevenart decided to add to this by incorporating the Catsith as an inspiration. The Catsith is a creature from Celtic mythology that is also simply known as the fairy cat. And it's where Arbalynx gets that big white puff of cotton on its chest because the Catsith is known to appear as a fully black cat with a single white spot on its chest. Finally, the name Arbalynx comes from the same inspirations and themes that Sprigatito's name does, just in a more fully evolved form. Specifically, it uses the words arbol, which is the Spanish word for tree, referencing its grass type, and obviously the word lynx, as in the Iberian lynx that it is based on. Moving along, we now come to Fuecoco, and honestly, what I am about to show you guys, I personally have no idea if it's what Game Freak is actually going for, but if what I am about to describe to you is what actually happens with Fuecoco's evolution, this Pokemon has the potential to be the best designed starter Pokemon of all time, if they can pull it off right, and I'm not even kidding around with you. I say this because Fuecoco has so many layers to its design, possibly anyway, that fit together so seamlessly, it's not even funny. It really would be the epitome of Pokemon design if it actually turned out this way. First off, we've got the primary inspiration of a crocodile. That's fairly evident. We've also got the inspiration of a pepper. That also is fairly evident. But then, there also seem to be some secondary inspirations going on with this Pokemon as well. It seems like it could, as a lot of people have noted, possibly have some kind of connection to the ghost type, because its face kind of sorta looks like a skull, and that honestly would go really well with the ghost pepper, which is also a thing, because as we said, Fuecoco also has a pepper as an inspiration, and so a fire ghost type evolution for this Pokemon that is also partially based on the ghost pepper specifically would just work really, really well. This was something that I did not mention in my initial prediction for the Pokemon, but what I did mention that I really haven't heard shared around that much, but just makes so much sense to me and I love it, is a possible chocolate inspiration. The name Fuecoco obviously comes from the Spanish word for crocodile, which is cocodrilo, but it also lines up perfectly with cocoa, as in cocoa beans, as in chocolate, and this is consistent with more than just its English name, meaning that it could possibly play a factor. And the thing that really sold me on this as a possibility, as I mentioned in that past prediction video, is the fact that there is a treat out there that is known as the Chocodile. So it just seems like all of this works with Fuecoco really well, to the point where I would really enjoy it, and at the very least, I think it's a possibility. The thing I didn't consider at the time, like I said, was the whole ghost pepper inspiration, which does seem like it's a little more likely at this state, but there is a way that this can actually all come together, and every factor I've mentioned can be integrated into this Pokemon and be integrated absolutely seamlessly. And this is because there are actually a couple varieties of peppers that are known as chocolate peppers, like for instance the chocolate habanero and, get this, the chocolate boutla ghost pepper. There is a variety of ghost pepper out there that is known as a chocolate ghost pepper. That is the perfect link to totally bring all of this together in such a beautifully seamless way, and if it actually happened with Fuecoco's final evolution, it could turn out looking like this. I present to you all Pokego, the Fire Ghost type Chocolate Pepper Crocodile. The name Pokego also factors in all of these inspirations as well, because it comes from pepper, cocoa, as in the Spanish word for crocodile, and chocolate, and ghost. And honestly, when you say the name Pokego, it just sounds like it has a really Latin Spanish flavor to it, so I thought it was a perfect fit. And as if the inspirations for this design hadn't come together so perfectly already, there's also a couple more elements to it that really are just the cherry on top. The first is the cocoa, which in Spanish folklore is basically a boogeyman equivalent type of creature who is also described as being a ghost monster, adding even more reasoning for that ghost type. And the Brazilian version of this creature is also described as being a humanoid alligator, so this really couldn't work any better if it tried in terms of blending in with all of the other elements we've discussed for this evolution. Finally, the cherry on top to this cherry on top has to do with the chocolate element of this design, because you may have been wondering where that comes from in the first place, because I'll admit it does seem kind of random, but it comes from nowhere else than hot chocolate. Hot chocolate is honestly the perfect way to describe Pokego as a Pokemon, as a fire type with chocolate inspirations, but it's also the perfect inspiration for all of this that brings all of these elements together perfectly, because hot chocolate in the modern, more sweet form we know today largely originates from Spain, which is obviously the place that the region of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is based on, where Fuecoco is a starter Pokemon. And if anything like this actually happened with Fuecoco's actual final evolution, in my opinion, it would easily be the best starter Pokemon design ever if it was also pulled off well, like I personally think Pokego is. And last, but certainly not least, we have Quaxly, and in contrast to Fuecoco, Quaxly's final evolution is going to be a lot more straightforward, but certainly not any less awesome. As I mentioned in that previous prediction video, I believe that Quaxly could possibly evolve into a Pokemon that's partially based on a pirate. This would be due to, first and foremost, its little headgear piece that it's got on, which I could see eventually evolving into some kind of pirate hat. Additionally, however, we've also got the inspiration for the region that Scarlet and Violet are going to be set in, which, as I've said before, is Spain and the Iberian Peninsula, which a pirate Pokemon seems like it would work well in. And while there are some other possibilities for Quaxly's final evolution, like a more basic sailor, and even possibly a matador, aka a bullfighter, I personally thought that pirate sounded the coolest, which is why I decided to go with it, and it is what gave us Capirito. As you can probably see, Capirito takes heavy inspiration from pirates, having a long pirate sword, a long pirate-esque cape that also doubles as its wings, and it's even got a little bubble eye patch as well, which was a really nice detail that Trevenart put in. It is also water fighting type, with the fighting type coming from the pirate inspiration, which I think works really well, and also we haven't had the fighting type placed onto a water starter yet, so I think it could be pretty cool to see. This is also what gives Capirito its big puffed out chest, which also goes along with the phrase of puffing out your chest or puffing up your feathers if you're talking about a bird. Additionally, it is also meant to resemble some pirate-style shirts that have big ruffles on the chest, so this particular area of its design actually has a lot of meaning. Finally, its name, Capirito, which I imagine if you were speaking in Spanish would be pronounced
Capirato,
comes from the word captain, but then also the Spanish word for pirate, which is pirata, and the Spanish word for duck, which is pato, with the two of those in particular sounding pretty similar, which made blending them together all the more perfect and made the concept of a pirate duck Pokemon for Quaxly's final evolution all the better. So, there you have it everybody, those are my ideas for the final evolutions of the starter Pokemon from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Arbalynx, Fuecoco, and Capirito. Let me know what you guys think of these designs in the comments below, and which one you would pick if these were the actual final evolutions. Also, let me know if these are the kinds of things you would like to see in the actual final evolutions as well. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe if you're new for more Pokemon content, and once again, a big shout out to Trevenart for helping me make these designs look so cool. With all of that being said, I will be back with another video very soon, and until then, as always, thank you guys so much for watching this one, I love you very much, and I will smell you guys later.